All right. Thank you so much for joining me, ladies, for those of you that are here, and for those of you that are catching the replay. I appreciate your time. So I'm really excited to bring this topic to you tonight, and particularly coming into these winter months, because I always hear people say, oh, you know, such and such around me's sick, or such and such around me's got this, and I'm going to catch it, or well, I've got to go and get my flu shot, and all of these sorts of things. So what I wanted to do tonight is just to share a topic that I'm really passionate about, and hope to inspire you to give you some more direction and some confidence with your own health, that of your families, and everybody around you. Okay, because we made out like health is really complicated and that only the doctors know. But what I want to teach you tonight is that you know your body better than everyone else, and with all of these tools that I'll be teaching you tonight, you'll really have the confidence to understand what's truly going on. So just starting off with a little bit about me. So my story is a long one, but I'll just start with the basics and give you the best idea. So I actually started my health journey when I was 9 years old. And what happened is my granddad passed away from he smoked at the time, so he had gangrene. He got his legs chopped off, and then he got them cut off again because he kept smoking. And so, like, this was when I was like 6, 7, 8, 9. Every day we were with mum. We'd go down around to Nana and Granddad's and see Granddad, but he couldn't walk or do anything. And little did I know that it had a huge impact on my health, because when he passed away, from that day forward, I decided I wanted to learn how we could live forever, because I didn't want I don't want anybody around me to get sick or die. So I've since realized that, you know, it's not possible to live forever, and I'm totally okay with that. But what I want to empower you to know is that it wasn't really living forever that I wanted. It was that when people were alive, I wanted them to have the best life possible. And so that's where my health journey started, is I've just gone on this quest of learning as much as I can about health and what it takes to be well. Now, I haven't just focused my attention on one thing. It's been a really broad range of different things, and I'm still learning every day. There's always somebody that shares something with me that I didn't know, or I'm researching about a new topic, or something else comes out on the market. So it brings about the attention of something new for me, and I just absolutely love it. And the reason why I want to share this is because, you know, there's so many people with health conditions. There's so many people with things wrong with them. They're going to the doctors because they have, they don't know what's happening within their body, but they know that something's up, or they just rushed off to hospital for some unknown reason. And I want to be able to share with you how we can prevent all of this. And it's so possible. I haven't taken antibiotics or pharmaceutical drugs or anything like that in over 15 years. The last time I do remember doing it was when I was 17 years old, and it was just absolutely stupid, but I can look back on it as a learning experience. And I knew what I was doing at the time, but I was just able to block it out. I had a bladder infection, and we all know that a bladder infection is one that the kidneys and all the detoxing systems of our body are highly acidic. They're not filtering properly, and so therefore it hurts to urinate. So I was doing all my natural things. I was having loads of water. I was drinking lemon in my water, and I was doing cranberries. So I had this awareness that we could heal our bodies, but because I wanted to go out partying that night, stupid I know, I thought, well, I know if I go to the doctor, I can get something that's just going to completely mask the symptoms, mask the pain, and I can go out drinking tonight. Now, that's absolutely stupid when I look back on it, because, you know, I was going out putting more toxicity in the body, which had to be flushed by the very organs that were having the trouble, and then just to mask this so I could go out partying, you know. But, you know, when you're 17 and you're young, you do anything to go out partying. And you know, I look back on it and I was like, what the hell were you doing? But at the same time, like, it wasn't health was my priority that night, partying was. And it's these little things that start out where we just go and get the antibiotics for this, and then we just get this for that, because it's just this little thing. And over a course of time, everything builds up in our system, and that's what causes the actual problem. So yeah, it's my absolute pleasure to be sharing this information with you tonight, because I truly believe it can be completely life-changing. And you know, my goal is ultimately to help you live a much healthier life, and to help those, you know, your family, your friends, and those that you pass this information on to. So just touching briefly on immunity. So it's not going to be my main focus or anything, or the organs of the body that the immune system resides in, and all of this sort of stuff, because that's a bit complicated. But what I want to do is just briefly touch on the importance of our immune system, and why all of the rest of the stuff that I'm about to share with you is crucial. So you'll always hear that the saying, prevention's better than a cure. And, you know, I heard it for years before it actually sunk in. And it's so, in this way of life that I'm about to share with you is prevention. So it's living in a state that we're continuously enabling our bodies to be well and healthy, so that it doesn't get to the point where we do get a disease or discomfort or something actually happening within the body. And then secondly, which I'll touch more on very soon, is that always listen to your body's signs, okay? Don't ignore them, all right? Now, I'm not saying if you notice something going on, go rushing off to the doctor. I'll explain that a little bit better to you very shortly, but it's so crucial that we're aware how our body's feeling. You know, do we wake up feeling lethargic, are our muscles and joints aching, so on and so forth. Okay, so I just wrote this little bit down just to keep it nice and simple, and I'll read that out for you. So your immune system is designed as the body's defense against viruses, infections, discomfort, disease, and all of these sorts of things. The immune system protects the body by identifying killer bacteria, viruses, pathogens, and those sorts of things. Parasites, other microorganisms, and tumor cells that would harm the body. Now, I can talk so much better when I'm not reading, when I'm just going off the top of my head, and I thought I'll be really organized and just write a few things down, and it never works. Anyway, so the immune system is comprised of several different types of cells, tissues, and organs, including white blood cells, called leukocytes, that recognize, process, destroy, and eliminate foreign objects or pathogens. Okay, so all of that simply means is that our immune system is the one that's responsible for recognizing any danger in the body. And so that's why we want to make sure that we've got it functioning on all systems. The organs that are responsible for our immune system are well and functioning, and the cellular health throughout the body is amazing. So we know that our immune system will do its job. So it's probably just easier for me to read it, and then so the bone marrow creates the white blood cells, and the white blood cells, you know, go out throughout our bodies into our organs that are responsible for supporting our immunity. And these organs are things like the lymph nodes, tonsils, spleen, appendix, and I wrote a few more down there, but I won't worry about them. But, you know, like, how's this? When kids are born, you know, often they have different sorts of things with their throat, and they're continuously having tonsillitis. That is one sign that the immune system is highly compromised. So instead of supporting the immune system to be well so that it heals the tonsils, which is actually a part of the immune system, they just cut them out, saying, oh, they just keep causing infection, just get them cut out, and that's going to solve all your problems, because they're not there. But little do we know, once we cut something out, we're just going to send that infection to somewhere else in the body for it to deal with. And then we've got these vital organs that are responsible for our immunity no longer here. You know, how many people do you know in this day and age, so many more kids and people are getting their tonsils out all the time. And it is simply a sign that our immune system is compromised, bottom line. Anyway, so yeah, that's the immune system's job. It's to look after you. Basics, so simple. All right, so it's the difference between health and sickness. Okay, so if we're healthy and well, like I say, I haven't had antibiotics, pharmaceutical drugs or anything like that for a very long time, but I do live in this life of prevention, and I do live by the way that I'm going to share with you tonight, because I believe that that's what prevention's all about. I just wanted to touch, I'm going to send you through all of this information, but for now I've just got it jotted down in front of me. But I just wanted to touch about what a balanced life is. Now, you would have heard, those of you that have worked with me before or heard me speak before, I always speak about pillars of health. So key areas of our life that we require, you know, being in alignment and focusing on and being conscious with, and just doing everything that resonates with us for our lifestyle, and then we really don't have to worry about our immune system or getting sick or anything like that. So these top pillars for supporting a healthy immunity is water, drinking enough water. I like to say to people, it's like our bodies are like a pond, okay? 70% water our bodies are. So let's just say the pond's 70% full. If we don't drink any water, and it doesn't rain that day, okay, the pool's going to start getting stagnant, as is our body. Okay, the longer we don't drink enough water, the more stagnant the pool gets and the body gets, so on and so forth. And then it starts growing algae and gets all sorts of different bacteria growing in the water in the pond, because there's nothing flushing it through. And that's exactly what happens in our body. Our body doesn't flush anything out. So the water gets stagnant, the algae grows, the bacteria flourishes, and before you know it, we're sick. So it's vital that we're drinking at least 2 to 3 litres of water a day. They do say 1 kilo per 22 kilos of body weight, general rule of thumb. And just bear in mind that that does require being filtered water. Unfortunately, the water that we get straight out of the tap here has got chlorine, fluoride, all sorts of different things in. Fluoride is actually a neurotoxin, as is aspartame, which I did a live video on my Facebook page about last night. Both of these things are neurotoxins which destroy our brain cells. We've got dementia, Alzheimer's, all of these health conditions. I don't know why they're called health conditions. There is nothing healthy about disease, but all of these illness conditions that are related to degeneration of the brain, yet everything that's going into their body on a daily basis is actually causing that. So it's like, I'm like, all the answers are so clear. It's clear why people have got cancer. It's clear why people have got disease. It's clear why people have got degeneration of the brain. Why aren't people starting to wake up? And this is why I'm just so passionate about sharing this, because it just seems like a no-brainer to me. So that's it. Movement is highly essential for moving the lymph, and the lymph is also responsible for taking healthy blood cells around our body and also detoxifying our body. So I've been a personal trainer for nearly 13 years, and like, I've done my fair share of thrashing around in that gym, training hard, pushing my body to the absolute max. And I loved it, don't get me wrong. But if that doesn't resonate with you, do not force yourself to do it. You need to find a way to move your body that resonates, that feels good, that is in alignment with what you want to achieve and your goals. So if that's walking every day, do it. If that's swimming, do it. I wouldn't recommend, however, swimming in a chlorinated pool. And this is something else they don't talk about. By swimming in the chlorine, we already know that it's completely toxic for our body, but it depletes the vitamin C levels within our body, which is actually responsible for our immune system. You know, so there's all these things that we just do unconsciously on a daily basis, and we've never thought twice about it. But you know, swim in saltwater pools, or go to the beach, or swim in freshwater rivers, or those sorts of things. But yeah, regardless of what you do, make sure you're moving your body, and make sure you commit to doing it at least 5 to 7 days a week. That can be as little as 15 to 20 minutes. It doesn't really matter, but as long as you're doing something. Nutrition. Now that's what we'll talk more about, but it's simple. Eat whole food, eat raw food, eat living stuff, eat food that's going to nourish your body, it's going to nourish your cells, and it's going to help your body be well. Okay, I always like to look at food as life or death. Okay, because if we get some carrots or apples or anything like that, we're literally eating fresh living food. If we get something out of a box that's got a, you know, MSG, it's a GMO product, all of that sort of thing, unfortunately that's dead. There's nothing in there that is going to feed our living cells within our body. So it's that simple. We'll talk more on the acid-alkali balance very soon. Mindset and happiness. This is another thing that's so, so important. Relaxing, resting, getting outside, which I'll talk more about, you know, I always just associate relaxing outside, so that's where that comes from. But anyway, just spending time with you. It's so important to do things that make you happy, and that you're conscious about and mindful of. Our emotional state, obviously, which I'll touch more on very shortly, can affect our mindset and our happiness. So it's very conscious. It's very important that we're being conscious of the thoughts that we're thinking, and the thoughts that we're feeding as well. Okay, sunshine, getting outside. Sunshine, I'll have you know, is the only way you can get vitamin D. Okay, I've got a few clients that try to trick me into thinking that the sun's bad and that you have to get your vitamin D from capsules. I don't fight with them, and I don't tell them what I believe, because there's no point. Some people just aren't going to get this, and some people aren't ready yet. This isn't their time, and this lifetime may not be their journey. So it's really, really important that, you know, that you don't go pushing your opinions on others, but you let them know. She knows exactly what I'm like, and when I come in, I've been sunbathing, I'm brown. I don't go sunbathing, sorry, I just go out walking in the sun or running in the sun. So I get my sun. She's like, you haven't been out in the sun, have you? You're going to get cancer. And I was like, if only you knew. But that's another story. Anyway, so the sun is amazing. It's so good for you. It's highly important for our immune system. And it's a great way to connect with nature. Like, we're always busy, living busy lives. Most of the time we work inside, or we're indoors in our home. Making time to get outside is just crucial for good health. Relationships. Holding on to relationships or friendships or things that don't make you happy affects our emotional state, and it affects our physical body. Okay, sometimes people can live really healthy lives but had this really bad trauma from the past that they're holding on to or haven't let go, and it's actually showing up as physical ailments in your body. There's a really good book, jot this down in case I forget. It's called The Secret Language of Your Body. So I love this book, because what you can do is you can look up any part of your body. You could look up your, you can look up flus, you can look up hemorrhoids, you can look up any sort of thing that you're experiencing, and then you can look up parts of your body. So it's your back or your head, or you're always having trouble with your arm or your leg, or your leg or your thigh or your calf or your heel, whatever. And it actually talks about what the emotional aspect could be that's causing this in the body, and I just love it. So, for example, when you read this, 9 times out of 10, you will find that it's negative emotions, it's negative experience, it's negative things that we're holding on to that is showing up in our body. So that's why I say it's so important to be mindful of our thoughts, and also to make our happiness a priority. Passion. Love what you do and do what you love. There's nothing else I can say about that. It's not going to be until, you do I know so many people that have office jobs and they just hate it. They go to work every day, they hate it. Not only do they hate their job, they're always getting sick, they're always run down, they're always stressed, overwhelmed, highly strung, feeling like crap, and everything else in their life may be okay, but because of this really negative thing in their life all the time that they spend, 30, 40, 50, 60 hours a week doing, it takes away from their passion of life and it makes them unhappy. So even if that means that you have to do a job you hate until you start to, until you welcome in the new thing that, that you're calling in, or your passion or your dreams or whatever, or even while you're building your business and you're doing that, let that be okay. But there's a difference between working somewhere you hate and not doing anything you're passionate about, or working somewhere you hate and making it making a proactive or making it an important part of your life to do things that you love as well. I lost my words there for a minute, sorry. Toxin-free living, I'll talk briefly about that soon. Our toxic overload of the body is a huge thing on all forms of disease, and you'll learn more about that very soon. There is an app I'll just share with you. It's called Chemical Maze, and then MAZE straight after, and you can actually look up numbers, colors, ingredients and things like that, and learn more about things for yourself. And the last one is sleep, because that's where our body repairs and heals. So if we're not getting enough sleep, then unfortunately we're not giving our body a good chance to heal. That's it. So when all of our digestive system takes a break, all of our organs and things like that go into work, and that's when our body supports itself to detoxify. So really, really important. All right, so moving on, just a brief thing now. I'm just going to show you this one, but I won't speak too much about it. I'll just show you briefly. You're going to get a copy of this, and what this is it's our gut. It's about our gut health, so there's two as I mentioned in one of our posts, is 70 to 80% of our immunity resides in our gut. So it's really, really important that we're conscious of our gut health, and so this is where this comes in. I'll just touch briefly on it to share with you, and then you can have a read when you get this information through. So the gut, it's actually the gut that houses 70% of the cells that make up the immunity. So as you can imagine, if we're eating terrible food all the time and we're not which I'll talk more about. I'll share this first. Sorry, I just got too far ahead of myself. So our gut health it can be called the microbiome, the microbiota, the bacteria, the gut flora, those sorts of things, but that's what we really want to work on protecting. And by having a healthy diet, we pretty much know that it's being looked after. But some things that destroy or decrease the gut microbiome is foods like alcohol, coffee, wheat, sugar, dairy, processed meats, fizzy drinks, processed foods, numbers, colors, additives. The list goes on. But all of these things are toxic, they're from the dead food group. And it goes on to stress, lack of sleep, emotional state, smoking, protein shakes and things like that if they're full of all sorts of foreign ingredients, which a lot of them are, toxins, antibiotics, and tap water, like we talked about before. And what we're going to be focusing on tonight is all of the things that we need to increase and improve on a daily basis to boost the good flora in our gut, to keep our gut healthy and strong, to keep the lining of our gut formed so that our immune system is nice and strong, and so that none of these no foreign objects are actually getting out into our bloodstream and causing inflammation. And that's when you'll hear leaky gut. Now I'll do another webinar on the gut health because it's a huge topic that's really important, but this is all about the immune system. All right, so that's it. So that's why it's really important to focus on our gut health as well. And I couldn't really say do all of this for your immune system without talking briefly about the gut, because that's where the immune system resides. But we get to remember, if we're eating really well all the time, then we're actually supporting our gut health. We're feeding the microbiome in our gut, and we're doing everything that we require doing for it to be well. So, moving on. So, I want you to just have a little think about your health, or somebody's close to you, or somebody that you know, if there's nothing wrong with you. Is there anything that you're experiencing? Because that's just a sign that your body is telling you that you're out of balance, okay? And this is what we need to remember, that we're not sick. We don't need to kill anything. We don't need to destroy any part of our body. We don't need to cut our body out, bits of our body out. What we need to do is we need to take a step back. We need to go back to what I talked about before, those principles of health, and see if they're all in alignment. See if we're being conscious and aware of each of those contributing factors. And then we just need to work with it ourselves. I know that seems a bit extreme for some things, and I'll explain more very soon. But it's simply a sign that our immune system's weakened, our body's out of balance. Where did I write those? Oh, here we go. Sorry, I've been that busy writing up all my notes tonight that I've lost one of my important ones. That it's toxic and that it's unwell. Okay, so that's what we get to remember. So anytime anything happens in our life and we're experiencing some sort of health conditions, our body is simply out of balance. Okay, so it's down over here. So we need to focus on things that is going to bring our body back into balance, to allow our immune system to strengthen and our body to heal itself, because our bodies want us to be well. They are not attacking themselves. They are not killing themselves. They are not trying to hurt you like you may get told. What's actually happening, it's an inflammatory response in some way or shape or form, and it's showing up in some way, shape or form for you to say, listen up, I am not well, I need support. So that's when we need to go straight into immune support protection. So the trouble is with this, unfortunately, is that when we get symptoms, that we're programmed to think we need to go to the doctor. Okay, so anytime anything shows up in our life or our body, or we're not feeling ourselves, we're programmed to go to the doctor. Now, I'm just going to let you know, I have nothing wrong, and I have nothing against doctors, even though it might seem like it. I have something against the practice that doctors perform. And what they do is that everybody's led to believe that if you don't feel well, you go to the doctor, because the doctor will make you better and they will heal your body. But the trouble is that there is no way you can heal your body with another toxic drug. Bottom line. Okay, so if we go back to remembering the reason we're first sick in the first place is because our body's out of balance, it's weak, it could be toxic. It's showing us signs and symptoms saying, hey, listen up, I require support. I need you to balance me back out so I can heal myself. So that's what the body's telling us. So when we go to the doctors are great, don't get me wrong, and emergency medicines, they're absolutely incredible. When we're in life or death, we couldn't ask for somebody better, and we're so lucky to have this service. But what we need to be sort of taught is that we don't go to the doctor for support around things like fevers, coughs, colds, illnesses, aches and pains in our bodies, all of these basic, if you want to call it, symptoms, okay? Because if we go to the doctor for these basic symptoms, what happens is they only know how to treat us with medication. So they're brilliant at their job because they know medication. But at the same time, that medication is toxic and it's going to continue taking our body out of balance, okay? So if we have this antibiotic for this general thing and, oh, great, it's all gone, and then 2 months down the track, such and such pops up. Oh, back to the doctor, I've got diarrhea, and they give you this medication to mask that. And every time we take medication, it destroys the microbiome in our gut. So our gut health, which I briefly touched on, it actually destroys the good guys. And every time we take medication, we're destroying the good guys. Did you know that if you take 1 dose of antibiotics, it takes 1 year for your body to restore your gut back to how it was? That's ridiculous. And that is, and like, most people don't even go a year without taking a pharmaceutical drug, a pill, something from the chemist, or an antibiotic. So no wonder we're all sick, because our gut health destroyed, and our immune system's just completely compromised. But then you've got the flu shots, so they're promoting those like they ain't no thing. If you want to, which nobody does, and I just can't believe it, we need to go and look at the ingredient listing, because they contain all sorts of neurotoxins which destroy the brain and just give us Alzheimer's and dementia and everything like that. Not to mention a huge amount of other foreign man-made toxic and synthetic chemical-based ingredients which is injected into our bloodstream. It seems like the craziest thing. Like, I've got to refrain from screaming at the top of my lungs when I hear somebody saying that they're getting a flu shot. I don't say that I wouldn't do it. I just say, okay, if that works for you, you do it. But like, inside, my body is just screaming, because everywhere you go, the media, the radio, the TV, if you have to go to the doctors for anything or whatever, like, people go there for checkups and stuff all the time. And if you go for a checkup, they're just going to get you in for you got your vaccination, haven't had your blood test, you haven't had this, what about this, let's try this thing, oh, that's a bit low. The other thing we get to remember is that our blood tests will vary every single day, depending on what we eat, if we're stressed, how we feel, if we're eating a good diet, if we're exercising, if our body's toxic, if we've, like, every single day our bloods are different. So the thing is if you go in one day and you've got this and you've had a really shit couple of weeks, your immune system's compromised, you've got a virus anyway, and you're going to show up with something going wrong in your body. And then, oh, look, just to play it safe, we're going to pop you on these antibiotics or this prescription for the next 10 years and just, heal your body that way. And it just doesn't work. And then what happens is then we end up having these skin conditions that are showing up. We end up getting these more serious things like cancer, like liver, cirrhosis of the liver, like heart disease, like thyroid issues, and everything like this, because the body just can't cope. So it's going on to the bigger and the better things, saying, wake the hell up. Anyway, so there's the option of the doctors, which is great in emergency medicine, but they only know how to treat us with medicine. And then we've got the other option, which is what I've done my whole life, and which is what I support those that are really interested in, and that's what I'm sharing with you tonight. And then we've got the option of self-care. And we've got the option of being really in tune with our bodies and saying, what on earth is going on? Why is this happening? Why is my body showing? Have I truly been looking after myself? And 9 times out of 10, no. We've been stressed at work. We've been unhappy in a relationship. We've been eating unwell. We haven't exercised for 10 weeks. We haven't drank water for 3, so on and so forth. So what we get to do is we need to address all of these 7 principles. We take a look at our life and realize what's going on. And number 1 is slowing down, okay? Because 9 times out of 10, we're highly stressed, and that's the number 1 cause of bad immunity. So that's it. It's simple. We get to look after ourselves. So what I'm going to share with you now is the foods and the remedies that you can use to support your immune system. Okay, I know that it's taken me a really long time to get here, but I really feel that it's so important to give you an understanding of why our bodies get sick in the first place, and sort of what we're programmed into at the moment, and how we're programmed into something's going on, we need to kill it. So if we have this skin condition or something, we have to put this steroid carrying on to kill it. But that suppresses it back into our skin. Our skin is the number one eliminatory system, as is our airways, pooing and weeing. So that's why it's important to eat really well, which I'll talk to you more about, so that you're actually going to the toilet and doing a poo, number two, at least 1, 2, 3 times a day. If not, you could be toxic. 3, that you're urinating regularly. I mean, I talk to people who are like, oh, I don't want to drink any more water because I don't want to have to go to the toilet all day. And I was like, okay, well, you enjoy that sickness that's coming your way. And it's so simple. Breathing, when we exercise, we breathe. When we're, sitting in our desk, we breathe. But if we're highly strung and we're working away and we're meeting deadlines and we hate our job and we rah, 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 we're probably not even breathing. So we're not eliminating anything through there. When we cough, that's a way of removing pathogens from our lungs. When we sneeze, it's the same thing. So we have all of these natural detoxifying things going on in our body on a daily basis that we don't even need to worry about. So all we need to worry about is that if we support our body, we keep it well, we do everything we can to boost our immune system, we live by these principles of health, then we don't need to worry about anything, because our body is going to be doing it for us. Our immune system is going to be fighting anything, so we don't have to kill anything. So what we need to get back to is true health. So we get to bring our bodies back into this resonance of health, so that it can heal. And that most people that are sick are so unhealthy that their bodies actually, unfortunately, can't heal themselves, and that's why they're experiencing all of this. But what I'm about to share with you is how you can actually heal yourself. So the top 30 foods, you're going to get a copy of this, so I'll just take it really quickly. But these things here that I'm going to share with you, and when you get the copy, print it out and keep it in your kitchen until you start to really, be 100% focused on this. But, if you include these foods into your diet every single day, you don't even need to worry about anything, because your body's going to be well. So we've got berries, that's raspberries, blueberries, strawberries, boysenberries, inca berries, any form of berries is incredible. Wheatgrass, spirulina, chlorophyll, all of these greens, they are just the living enzymes of our cells. Those of you that follow Don and Tyler Tolman, Tyler's actually got a greens powder, which is one that I take. It's incredible. And there was actually a story of a lady who's from taking this greens powder every day, she alkalized her body and her hair went back to its natural colour. They say that grey hair is just a sign of stress and oxidization within the body and aging, and so that's why it comes through. So it's just incredible what our bodies can do, like when given the right things. Citrus fruits, lemons, grapefruits, oranges, tangerines, mandarins, limes, anything. When food's in season, that's when you want to get it. So anything seasonal, eat as much as you can for it. What they say is that nature created these foods in season to prepare our bodies for the seasonal threats that were coming. So if we eat seasonal food, then we don't even need to worry about what's going on, because our immune system, our bodies and nature's already done it all for us. It's just amazing. So watermelon, turmeric, ginger, garlic. Turmeric, ginger and garlic is your number one healing herbs and spices. They are just phenomenal. Fresh is best, obviously, and ground is your next best. So either or, but it's really easy to source it fresh these days. We've got pineapple, papaya, apples, avocados, beetroots, amazing for purifying the blood, which helps to support our immune system. Sauerkraut, kefir, kombucha, bell peppers, so that's known as capsicums. Broccoli, spinach, kiwi fruit, green tea, carrots, elderberries, honey, chili, mushrooms, acai berries, coconut yogurt, coconut oil, coconut cream. Those are great for our gut and our immunity. Sweet potato, vegetable broth, and pomegranate. So those are the top foods that you can have. And I mean, I know I pretty much most of those every day, and I know you probably do as well. So just touching base on a few of the vitamins that are essential for our immunity. Vitamin E. So vitamin E is an antioxidant which supports free radicals. Free radicals obviously speed up the aging process, and they also destroy healthy cells because the free radicals aren't good. So I've gone and written something. I can't even read myself. But anyway, it wasn't important. But yeah, so antioxidants, which I'll talk about antioxidant more foods very soon, but they actually support the free radical, fighting free radicals within our body. Now, we can have environmental pollutants which cause free radicals, like car smoke, car fumes and toxic sprays, paint, all of these sorts of things. But we can also produce free radicals within our body and the liver as we break down toxins. Okay, so that's why it's essential that there's no way of eliminating free radicals at all. But what we can do is if we increase things that fight free radicals in the body, like antioxidants, vitamin E, then we're going to keep them at bay. So foods that are high in vitamin E is almonds, spinach, sweet potatoes, avocado, wheat germs, sunflower seeds, butternut squash, and olive oil, So the thing I love about this is that I also aren't a big believer in supplements, because the thing is it's very hard these days to find a supplement that has not got a synthetic ingredient. Synthetic ingredients are not recognized in the body and are not absorbed into the body. Okay, so there's no point in taking them. That's why I believe if we support our gut to be well, and if our gut's well, then we're absorbing all of the nutrients and vitamins and enzymes and macronutrients and micronutrients and you name it from our foods. That's then supporting our immune system, and we're completely fine. We don't need to be taking supplements and things like that. But if you are deficient in any way, shape, or form, rather than reaching for a synthetic vitamin that's going to add to toxicity in the body, you want to focus on your gut health, getting that in nice and strong, strengthening your immune system so that's functioning optimally, and then your body's going to be absorbing nutrients left, right, and center. Some other ones is vitamin C, very crucial for forming connective tissue, for our healthy blood, for our bones, all sorts of different things. We find that in oranges, red peppers, grapefruit, Brussels sprouts, kale, guava, broccoli, strawberries, spinach, kiwi fruit, all of these things that we eat on a daily basis. But, omega-3 fatty acids are the anti-inflammatory omegas. So too much omega-6s and 9s in our bodies can actually be quite inflammatory. So it's really good to focus on the omega-3s. Often people take omega, 3, 6, and 9, but with more of a focus on the 6 and the 9, which can actually be more cause inflammation in the body. So that's something to be aware of. And again, it's not something that I promote, because often that, if they are fish capsules offering these amazing omegas, if the fish isn't wild caught, and I don't know where the cleanest ocean is in the world these days, unfortunately the toxicity in the fish, and then it's kept in this capsule for 5, 10, however long months, it has to have a preservative in there. It has to have something to keep it from going off. So it's probably not worth it anyway. But anyway, you get omega-3s in chia seeds, flax seeds, walnuts, spinach, sea vegetables, hemp seeds, and so on and so forth. So too little omega-3s can cause inflammation in the body, digestive disorders, allergies, arthritis, depression, and poor brain development. So it's really important that, again, you are getting enough fat in your diet, but not, processed fats or anything like that, but healthy fats. Vitamin A, really, really important as well. Sweet potatoes, carrots, dark leafy greens, squash, lettuce, dried apricots, cantaloupe, bell peppers, tropical fruits, those sorts of things. So as you can see, all of this food that we eat on a daily basis has everything that we need. And that's why I'm so passionate about eating real food, eating living food, and doing that all the time, because we know that we're always going to be well. I just wanted to share this last one here, and that's selenium. So selenium is really important as well to support our immune system. It can be found in Brazil nuts, eggs, spinach, sunflower seeds, mushrooms, various other ingredients. But a deficiency of selenium can include thyroid dysfunction, weakened immune system, infertility in men, depression, heart attacks, increased risk of cancer. So this is just one of those, and every other vitamin and mineral and stuff like that. If we are depleted in that, then that's another reason that we can get sick. And the thing that's always concerned me is there's just no education out there about real food. Everything that we get taught is the latest thing that's on the market, that's got millions and millions of dollars of marketing money spent behind it. And the latest chocolate bar, the latest packaged food, the latest crackers, the latest bullshit foods that do not support the body at all. And yeah, I mean, I've always thought that things are backwards, more money spent on the doctors and stuff like that, more money spent on horrible food, more money spent on medication, more money spent on vaccinations, more money's, where the hell is where is the promotion of what's actually causing the problem in the first place? And that's all of the shit that they're promoting. And if we came back to basics of real food and this lifestyle that I've shared, then Lord, Anyway, so that's the basics. So what I wanted to share with you, and all of these recipes are going to be sent through because we're not making them together. I'm actually juice fasting at the moment. I'm running a juice, a detox and cleanse your body naturally program, and I actually run this regularly. So if you are interested, just let me know. But I'm currently running it with 20 lovely ladies, and it's just an opportunity for you to commit to something at your own level. So there's 10 different levels. The first level is an elimination diet, where we eliminate things that destroy our microbiome in our gut and destroy our immune system. And then we go into eating just fruit and vegetables, or just cooked food, or just raw food, or just fruit, or just smoothies, or just juices, or whatever it might like to be. So there's 10 levels. And so after, there's a webinar associated and all of that. But after that, you get to choose where you're at. So I actually chose for myself to do a 4-day colon cleanse. So that's really good for removing toxicity out of the colon to allow us, to remove toxicity from the body. I then did a 5-day water fast, which I finished yesterday. And now I'm going into a 5-day juice fast. Okay, they actually say that 3 days on only water is enough to reset your immune system. And that's actually why I did it, because when I went to India at the start of this year, obviously I didn't take any of the toxic vaccinations or anything like that. But prior to that, I did lots of stuff to support my immune system. But while I was over there, I had this really fancy water filter because I didn't want to buy plastic bottles. I'm really conscious of the environment, and I'm really conscious of my footprint, and I just can't face drinking out of plastic bottles, not to mention the BPA, the toxicity of plastic bottles. It's just something that doesn't resonate with me. So I got this really swanky water filter to drink water from India. I know it's crazy, but I gave it a go. Anyway, I drank one bottle and it tasted like dirt. And then I couldn't bring myself to do it again. But about 3 days later, I ended up getting quite sick. And it was sick for most people. It lasted about 6 hours. Every single muscle in my body hurt. My joints ached. I couldn't sit up. I couldn't eat. I couldn't really do anything. And, I was at a retreat at the time in India, so I really wanted to be there. My calf muscles absolutely ached. I had fluid retention. Everything was happening in my body, and that was just a sign that it wasn't happy. So I supported my immune system with the natural remedies I'm about to share, but I also just rested. And the most important thing that we can do when we are extremely unwell is to fast, to not eat food. Now, you'll probably know this with animals. When animals are really, really sick, they stop eating. Young children are the same. When they're really, really sick, they stop eating. And that's because when our digestive system isn't working, that is when when our digestive system isn't working, that's when our body can use all of that energy on healing and detoxing and fighting the viruses, and the immune system's going on all 4 cylinders, and it's, you know, supporting our body. So yeah, anyway, so this is why I did this intense cleanse, you know, some may like to call it. Now, I wouldn't recommend what I've just done to anyone that's not experienced, because it's full on, even for me who's pretty clean. But I wanted to do it because I felt like I had some form of virus in my system from when I was over there. So that's what my focus behind this cleanse was. So yeah, I'm not going to make this food with you because nobody's here to eat it, but I'll share the recipes that I wanted to. So I'll send you through the recipes for the last picture that I posted, which was the sauerkraut, the cashew cheese, fermented pesto, those sorts of things, which is amazing to have in your fridge for wraps and different things like that. There's also a turmeric latte. Now, turmeric lattes are an amazing thing to have in the cooler months because they're nice and warm, and they're really nourishing with all the spices and herbs and everything like that goes into them. So it's turmeric, cinnamon, ginger, and cardamom. I put some honey in there and some coconut oil, which helps to metabolize some of the fat-soluble spices and stuff like that. And then I also use some essential oils. Now, whether or not you have essential oils is up to you, but I do have essential oils in the recipe, and they're just optional. If you don't have them, you can leave them out. So I use my Thermomix, but you can put it on the stove, and you just put everything in there, heat it up, give it a stir. I like to blend mine at the end so the coconut oil doesn't settle on top, and then you've got this really amazing drink. I actually made a tea tonight. Keep calm and carry on. Mum bought me this. This was when I used to be really stressed out. Not anymore. I just take life as it comes. But yeah, I used to own 2 businesses, a cafe and a gym at the same time, and work from 4 in the morning till 10, 11, 12 at night. So it was just ridiculous. Anyway, Mum bought me that teapot. So this tea that I'm drinking is another amazing thing to have in the cooler months, and it's beautiful supporting the immune system, but it's also very good when you get sick. So it is 1 orange squeezed, 1 lime squeezed, and 1 lemon squeezed, a teaspoon of honey, some chili, some cayenne pepper or some chili powder, and you can leave these out. This is in the recipe. And hot water, fresh slices of turmeric, and fresh slices of ginger. Now, I've also put some black pepper in there because black pepper actually increases the anti-inflammatory property of turmeric, curcumin, by up to 2,000%. So just keep that in mind. Whenever you have turmeric, make sure you use black pepper with it. Yeah, so I just put the hot water in there and let it set for a bit. Delicious. And so that's what I've been sipping away on. Even though I'm doing this juice fast, I am allowing myself to have caffeine-free herbal teas, and also these drinks and stuff like that as well. So it's just this herbal tea that I'm in this, you know, tea I've made as well. But the thing is about fasting and whatever is that you get to create your own rules and what works for you, and then go by that. If you require support or feel that fasting was something maybe what you want to do, then reach out and I'll support you. But that's not what this is about tonight. From there, we've got juices and smoothies here. We've got a daily shot. So I really love making this up. This is what we used to have when we were kids. So it's in a jar, and Mum used to make it when we were little. It's got loads and loads of crushed garlic and finely chopped ginger. And then in there, she put lots of honey and some lemon juice and some cinnamon. And that was it. Okay, I have jazzed up the recipe slightly, but what Mum would do was she'll make that up. She'd keep it in the jar and just have it in there. And if we ever said we had a sore throat, or someone around us was sick, or that there was someone sick in the household, Mum would make us all just have a teaspoon of this, and we'd have a teaspoon 2 or 3 times a day. And I just love it, you know. It's this garlic. I really do love garlic. But anyway, so that's there. You can keep that in the cupboard and have it whenever you want. Now, I also added some essential oils in there as well, because they're so beneficial for our immune system. We've got an anti-inflammatory smoothie of pineapple, mango, ginger, turmeric, black pepper, coconut water, and celery. Those ingredients here are amazing for the immune system, and one of those every few days or something like that is just perfect for knowing that we're supporting it. I put some guacamole in there because that's a nice recipe, healthy fats, lots of good stuff. There's the vegetable crackers, supercharged sauerkraut. Now that's a really good one, because in the supercharged version, I actually add ginger, turmeric, chili, and onions. So it's super good for the immune system. Because it's all raw, it feeds the good bacteria. And then because it's fermented, it also boosts the good bacteria in there. So it's good for everything. There's immune boosting soups that you can turn into curries. There's a salad, there's lentil dal, kale chips, all of these delicious things. They're just really basic, but they contain all of those ingredients that are beautiful for supporting the immune system. More chocolate, citrus jellies, and that's it. Now, the last thing that I wanted to share with you was a few recipes for you to make up. Now, I will write these down, but the cough syrup, really great for any sort of niggling sore throats, or if you actually get a cough. I know that when I was younger, I had asthma. I don't have it now. It was when I was really young. It could have been a result of being vaccinated when I was first born, but then Mum didn't vaccinate us after that. But vaccinations as well, which isn't shared about, is actually destroys the bacteria in the gut. So the precious newborn baby, it's literally destroyed the bacteria in the gut. So the immune system is compromised right from the day dot. And how many children do you know these days? How many people with kids, and they're constantly sick? So they've got ear infections, they've got infections, they're run down, they've got fevers. It's because their immune system's destroyed from the day they were born. And I know this isn't shared and people don't talk about it much because there's such a massive, just constantly in your ear about the importance of them. And if you even say that you wouldn't like it or it's not okay, you get bashed, you get, you're told that you're doing things wrong, you get told that your baby's going to die, your baby's going to get sick. Oh, it hurts my heart. Anyway, number 1, cough syrup. Pineapple. Pineapple is the number 1 thing for clearing mucus from the lungs and clearing our airways. So pineapple juice is really great. Now, I like to jazz it up a little bit, but other things that are amazing as well. But just eating a whole pineapple when you're feeling sick is just incredible for the immune system, for the gut, and also for the immunity. Pineapple, lemon, honey, ginger, turmeric, and black pepper. So that's the ingredients. And garlic there. And so what you do is you mix all of that up. You can make it as a juice, but if you juice garlic, it is a little bit harsh. I usually just eat garlic raw. But that combination there is really, really good just to sip on before you go to bed, just to have mixed up next to the side of your bed at night, because I find usually that's when most people's cough sort of starts up and is the worst. And having a sip on that actually supports the body to soothe the airways. The next one is Vicks. So natural Vicks. The Vicks we buy off the shelf, unfortunately, has petroleum in it. So really, really toxic to the body. So we can make our own ones using literally just shea butter and coconut oil. And then I like to add the essential oils of lavender, easy air, tea tree, eucalyptus, and frankincense. So doTERRA actually has a brand, an oil called Easy Air, known as Breathe in the US, and it's actually a blend of eucalyptus, peppermint, tea tree, lemon, cardamom, raven, Sinatra, and that's it. Oh, laurel. and laurel. So those are all really good for the airways. And if you're having a coughing fit or anything like that, or asthma attack or anything, you can actually just drop a couple of drops in the palm of your hand, rub your hands together and breathe it in. And that actually instantly soothes the airway, just like your puffer does. So if you are asthmatic, I recommend doing this 4 or 5 times a day just to soothe the airways. What you can do with your Vicks when you make it, rub it on your chest, rub it on the soles of the feet, rub it down the back of the spine, and that will help to control the breathing, soothe the airways, and support the lungs. And the last one is immune support. And that is one thing that I like to use as a flu bomb. It's not the only thing. I'll share the 20 other things very shortly. But as you all know, I've been sharing essential oils for years and years. I've actually personally used them for 5 years myself. And I completely feel like I've literally eliminated everything from the house. Sam had a little infection on his head the other day, and I didn't even have a plaster at home because it's been that long since we've needed anything. But I don't have any pharmaceutical drugs or any pharmaceutical anything in my home. So I use essential oils for it all, plus colloidal silver and a few other little things which I'll touch on soon. So what we can do with this flu bomb is we can mix it up in a roller. Okay, and so that's what this is here. It's a roller. Now, the typical oils that we'd use in a flu bomb is frankincense, lemon, tea tree, oregano, and on guard. Okay, but there's other oils that are really beneficial for our immune system as well, like thyme and rosemary and cilantro, copaiba. Copaiba is one that I wanted to touch on briefly because it's known as the one that brings homeostasis to our body. So homeostasis to every organ, to every cell, to every function, to every system, and it actually allows our body to come back into balance. So it's incredible. It's got the same, it's known to function like CBD oil, and those of you that have heard of CBD oil, it is the cannabis plant, but we now have access to this incredible product which is pure CBD without the THC. So the THC is what's illegal here in Australia, and that's what makes you high. But we've actually got access now to this incredible product from America, CBD, which is amazing for our body's own innate healing system, the cannabinoid system. So copaiba is a plant, so it's sap from a tree which has the same components as the CBD oil. And they're both equally as good as each other. I do use them both, and I do promote them both because bringing homeostasis back into our body is the fastest way to heal. Okay, so what we can do is we can get these vegetable caps. You can get these from the health food shop as well if you're not a part of doTERRA, but if you also would like to start getting these oils and you're not already, please let me know because I would love to support you. So what we do is we get these, and now anytime I'm feeling run down, I've had a few late nights or anything that I know where my immune system could be compromised, I will put the flu bomb roller on the soles of my feet. I will take a veggie cap with the flu bomb ingredients in, and all you do is you literally just take that top off like so, you drop the oils into it, you put it back on, and you take it. Now I wouldn't recommend making them up 4 days in advance because an hour after they've made, the oils start to eat away and they just melt. Okay, so it is something you just do when you need it. Okay, but putting those oils together, oregano is the #1 antibiotic. Incredible for destroying bad pathogens in our body and supporting our immune system. You can also add on guard and oregano to the soles of your feet, and that supports our immune system, and it's the fastest way to get the oils into the bloodstream. So really simple tips like this make it really easy for us to know that we're supporting our immune system and we don't need toxic pharmaceutical drugs. Now I have got some, it does go a little bit more in depth here with the ingredients and the remedies, and there's also, flu bomb, flu roller, there's diffuser blends, but I'm going to send that through to you so you guys can have a read of it yourself. Last one, just to finish up, is my top tips for boosting your immunity. Okay, so as I've talked about, this this is more a way of life, okay? So if we're eating whole food and we're eating, lots of fruits and vegetables and lots of variety, and we're getting some of the good healthy fats through seeds and nuts, and we're getting herbs and spices, and we're getting the roots, and we're getting a good balance of these, and we're getting our berries and all our special amazing tropical fruits when they're in season, we're really getting everything that we need. And if we focus on that and eating well on every single day, then we know that we're doing the most important thing we can to support our immune system. Okay, but I know that we're still going to get sick sometimes. So when that does happen, this is what I recommend. Any or all of the above. Now, I'm a bit of an extremist, so sometimes I do pretty much all of these if I'm feeling run down. I don't really know the last time I was sick, well, in India, but that was more, I felt that was more I'd caught something there. But anyway, I just fasted, I had my oils, I put them on, I took oregano internally, I made the flu bomb, and I went to sleep and I rested, and I felt 10 times better the next day. Okay, but the number one thing is, or what I do, is oregano and on guard on the soles of my feet. So we talked about that. On guard is actually a specific immune boosting blend. Okay, so that is something that I would use in the diffuser daily if you want to support your immune system, on your body daily if you want to support your immune system, and so on and so forth. Now, if you are experiencing any health conditions, I'll just point out, it would be safe for you, depending on what it is, and if you don't feel comfortable making this decision on your own, then please reach out to me via messenger or private message, or email me back or something like that. But if you're experiencing any health concerns, I would seriously consider supporting your immune system right away. So oregano and on guard on the soles of the feet, your veggie capsules, your flu bomb. They're not something that you want to take every day for 30 days. I would recommend doing 7 days on, 3 days off for intense cases if you require carrying on. Frankincense under the tongue. Frankincense oil is incredible for supporting the immune system, the cellular health, tissue regeneration. It destroys corrupt cells in the body. So this is something that I take on a daily basis, and I just do it myself like this. I'll show you. A couple of drops on the tongue. Push it to the top of my mouth. Voila. Water with lemon and lemon, or the special tea that I've just talked you through, or even ginger and lemon tea. But often when people are sick, they go and they buy these products that have been bought. Someone's like, oh, you've got a sore belly, have some peppermint tea. But it's like, why wouldn't we have the fresh peppermint leaf, or the fresh peppermint oil, or the natural plant? Or when people say, oh, would you like a tea? Ginger and lemon, and then they grab a packet out of the cupboard. And it's like, why don't you just put some fresh ginger and lemon in the cup with some hot water, So it's about really, really getting back to basics. Diffuse the flu bomb. So using a diffuser in the house is really great for supporting the immune system on a daily basis. And I literally have my diffuser going next to my bed every night. Apple cider vinegar. So I actually have this one here, and I've got some in stock. So if you do want it, my friends make it. So what this one is, it's an apple cider vinegar. And it's been infused with garlic, chili, ginger, turmeric, and onion. So how amazing is that? These things are just the best for our immune system. Now, I haven't yet said this, but it's highly important that everything that we eat and consume is organic. Okay, and I know for some people that it's a bit extreme to go all out and do organic, but we're really lucky in this day and age is that there's organic delivery services, there's health food stores popping up all over the place, and we do have more and more access to organic food. Okay, if you can't get organic, I would reckon the next best thing is to eat seasonal from the local farmers markets and never buy food that's come from another country. And then you've got the best chance to eliminate toxins. Fresh juices is really, really good. So if you're really feeling like something and you want to eat, or you're not feeling like eating, but you feel like your body needs something, fresh juices and smoothies are a really, really great thing. You can load them up with vitamins, minerals, nutrients from all your plants. Your coconut water, which is really hydrating, and you've got an amazing drink there. It also helps to alkalize the body. So when we were talking about the things that we want to decrease for the gut, when we increase all the good stuff, that helps to alkalize the body. And when our body's alkaline, disease can't live. Because alkaline is at the it's at the vibrational frequency then of health. So alkalinity is at the vibrational frequency of health, and that's what we want to aspire to. Whereas acidity is the vibrational frequency of disease. So if we're unwell, then we're obviously vibrating a little bit down here. Garlic, honey, lemon, ginger, cinnamon, those sorts of things, like a tea or my healing tonic, my healing stuff that you take. Colloidal silver. Now this isn't wine, although it looks like it. This is actually colloidal silver. So colloidal silver is pure silver immersed in water. And way back in the ancient days, they used to actually eat off silver spoons and silver knives and forks. And what they did that for was to support the immunity, because every time they ate, the silver would break down, and so they'd actually be getting silver into their bodies on a daily basis to support their immunity. Obviously, those sorts of things don't happen anymore, but you still can find colloidal silver plasters and things like that around. So colloidal silver kills bad pathogens in the body, but it doesn't kill good. You can drink it, you can put it in your eyes, your ears, you can do anything with the open wounds. It doesn't sting, but it destroys anything bad in there. Sliced onions on the soles of the feet. Now this is a good one. I've done it many a times, and my friend's she's a real promoter of this. So what you do is you slice some rounds of onions, you put it on the soles of your feet, and you put your socks on, and that actually draws toxicity out of the body. It's freaking amazing. Vegetable soups, curries, stews, those sorts of things, vegetable broths, really, really good. Again, I don't recommend processed meats in your food when you're sick, only because meat does have an acidic it leaves an acidic residue in our body, and so we want to be promoting health. Detox baths is really good. Epsom salts, pink Himalayan salts, bicarb soda helps alkalize the body. So that's really, really good. Sit in there and let your body detoxify. I add some essential oils which enhance the process, so it's really great as well. A lymphatic drainage massage is really, really good as well, just to flush toxicity out of our body. You do need to make sure, though, if you do that, you just need to make sure that you're drinking loads of water before you go in and loads of water after, because otherwise that toxicity is going to build up in our kidneys and our liver and could back up and cause all sorts of issues. And the last thing, the most important thing, is any time there is a signal, a sign, or anything happening in your body, it is your cue to rest. Your body needs to rest when it's healing. Your body needs to relax when it's healing. Your body needs to be supported when it's healing. Your body needs to be loved. It needs to be looked after. It needs to be nourished. It needs to be given every single thing it can to be well. And that's where drugs and antibiotics and pharmaceuticals do not fit into the equation. They destroy the microbiome in the gut, destroy the cells. They're completely toxic. They're man-made. They're synthetic. And unfortunately, they cause more damage than they're good. So what I want you to try and do is think about all of those things as an emergency state. Okay? If you are in an if this is life or death and you really, really require them, go for it. But if you can do all of this immune support, you can balance your life, you can live by the pillars, you can look after yourself, I don't feel there'll ever be this emergency, because I've been living like this for 15 years, and the worst I've ever had is a cough and feeling sick in India, and inflammation in my foot when I ran 100 kilometers. you know. So I'm living proof that this is possible. I know that I've still got many years to go, but I mean, I know people my age now that are taking drugs, and they so-called have to take these drugs for the rest of their lives because of such and such going on in their body. And that's just, it breaks my heart. So I think that's it. I think that's all I have to share with you tonight. And I hope that's inspired you and given you some stuff to work with. I know that I've shared a lot, and I have a tendency to do that, but I just really love this topic, and I just love health, and I really, really want to share with you everything so that you feel empowered and you feel confident and you feel knowledgeable on this topic so that you actually can look after yourself. Yeah. Does anyone have any questions before we finish up? So, yeah. So,
unmute.
Yeah. Just I will just answer these quick questions. Yeah, this is it. The GPs call us for our the GP doesn't have my number. I don't have a GP, so I've never got a call. But my cousin's like, what do I do? The GP's ringing about my vaccinations. And it's just crazy. They do. This is it. But the thing is they get paid every vaccination they get. So, of course, they're going to want to promote it. They get trained in the fact that vaccinations is what stops your body from getting sick. But by adding all this toxicity to the body, it destroys our immunity in our gut, so we will get sick. I don't know someone who's had their vaccination and has not got sick. I have yet to find somebody. And I'm like, wake up. Anyway, colloidal silver, you can drink it. So for example, if you're feeling unwell or you're run down, sore throat, got any health conditions, and it's quite serious and you really want to treat it, you can have a mouthful of colloidal silver 3, 4, 5 times a day. Okay, don't put it on silver because it does react. And so what will happen is if you put it on the silver, it'll destroy the silver in the water, and so it will be void, if that makes sense. So I usually just drink it like out the bottle, or I just put it in my glass bottle, or I use a glass, a little glass. But so you can just have, I mean, there's not really any rules to it. I've drinking a litre in a day. There is stories that people have turned blue from it, and when I promote using colloidal silver, I always get people send me messages saying this isn't good, it makes you turn blue, and there's studies that show that it has, but this was people taking excessive amounts for like 1, 2, 3 years in a row. So there's no harm done. All right, Mel, I'll just unmute you. Did you have a question, Dale? Unmute. Go for it.
Okay. I'm just trying to close all these windows. I've got nothing. So I've got my essential oils made of terra. Nice. So if I put oregano and on guard on the soles of my feet and a bit of frankincense under the tongue, might help my skin over the next, I don't expect it to happen overnight, of course, but no,
that would be a really
maybe just get onto that at the moment.
Yeah. So that's
what?
That would be an absolutely great thing. So a really good place to start, for sure.
Yeah.
One of the biggest things that I know about any skin condition is that our gut is our gut's out of balance. We quite possibly have leaky gut.
Yeah. Oh.
And the other thing is that our gut is highly inflamed. So when we see inflammation in the skin, it's a sure sign that our gut's inflamed. So that would have been a great weekend for you, learning all about gut health and stuff. So put all of that into practice. And then secondly, supporting your immune system with oils is definitely vital. So what I'll do is I'm going to send you through this, which is the Flu Bomb. And also it's got the Flu Bomb roller, and then it's also got a diffuser. So you can use those 3 things that we talk about there, however you can, if that makes sense. So I would recommend doing your diffuser, putting it on the soles of your feet.
Yeah, that's all good.
and doing that for 7 days, and then giving yourself a break for 3.
Mm-hmm.
And then same, just keep doing that, okay? Because just like anything, our body will get used to it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay. Cool. Thanks. Yeah.
All right. Well,
awesome. Thanks so much.
No problem. So I'm just going to...
Over and out.
Yeah, I'm just going to finish up the recording now. If you guys want to hang around and ask any other questions afterwards or anything, then go for it. Thank you so much for joining me. I hope you've learnt something, and I really look forward to hearing how your health goes in the future. And be sure to keep me updated. And if you've got any questions, then reach out anytime, because I'm here to support you. Thanks so much for tuning in. See yous.